Oh, all right. I had to get a neck crack in, but I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. My crooked do rag on, don't care. Let's talk about boots. So a couple of things about boots in this video. Steady saying at 47, and think he explained why he did knock out Kieran Chukhadzhian. So what the Soldier Boy say? So Jaron Ennis stays at 47 to complete undisputed goal. All right. He said people don't understand purse bid. A fighter has a minimum in his contract, and sometimes the bid is less than the minimum because you don't want to overpay opponent. Chukhadzhian is already getting overpaid, said Hearns. My bad, I missed the whole quote. So he said, we're running a business, said Eddie Hearn to Fight Up TV when asked about why he lost the purse bid to Jaron Ennis fight against Kieran Chukhadzhian. At the number we bid, we were already making a huge investment in the fight, and also he Boots has minimums. He said, so we sat with Boots and said, look, this is the number we're comfortable with bidding, said Hearns. Financially is already a disaster for us, but we're going to back it. Let's try to get the fight done. His promoters came in with a crazy bid. Now, whether they could have done it or not, could have done it or not. I reached out to them and said, look, what do you want to do? Where do you want to do the fight? Where do you want to do it? Do you have the facilities to do it? Or do you want to work together and do it with us? And we cut the deal to do it together, said Hearn. So see, they just bid just to be bidding and hoping that Boots would drop the belt. See, let's stop right there. They probably had proof of funds and all that type of stuff. Yeah, they probably have proof of funds and all that type of stuff, but they was bidding just to be bidding. They were bidding just to be bidding. Listen to me. They were bidding just to be bidding. I'm telling you that right now. They were bidding just to be bidding. They was bidding, hoping that he would drop that belt. I'm letting you know that right now. They were bidding, hoping that Boots would drop the belt and they'd be a champion. That's why they didn't have the facilities. They didn't have the resources to make that fight happen overseas. I'm telling you what it was. I'm telling you exactly what it was. You know, they didn't have the facilities to do it. They didn't really have a plan to do it. They was just doing it knowing they was just saying, okay, we could do this bid, overbid, and he gonna drop the belt. I'm telling you what they was thinking. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So that's what it is. So it don't surprise me none. It don't surprise me none. So now that I'm reading what he's saying or whatever, yeah, and people can say, well, yeah, oh, you know, people who never did a business before or don't have no business, that's what they got to understand. You know, they sit here and say, well, you know, Eddie being cheap and Eddie being this, man, it's a business. Ain't nobody in the business of losing money when they ain't got to lose money. Somebody gonna front the bill to pay your fighter. You know, you let them front the bill to pay your fighter, especially if you believe in your fighter. Especially if you believe in your fighter. You front that. You all right, bet. You go ahead and pay him. Especially if you believe in your fighter gonna get a fair, you know, gonna knock him out, or you know, you feel like he can get a fair shake or he gonna win. Now, if you don't think your fighter gonna win or he ain't gonna get a fair shake, then that's a different ball game. I mean, son, shout out to my son Henry out there. He said, the reason we decided to do the fight is because I had a very frank and honest conversation with Jaron. He told me my dream is to unify the division and win multiple belts in the division. He's going to do that at 54 and he's going to do that at 60, said Hearn. I asked him and Bonzi a simple question. Do you need to move to 54 physically? How do you make the weight? And they said So easy. I'm like, then we need to unify. Well, but this fight I know, but sometimes you need to get things done. Hearn said, we're going to build a massive card around Karen Chukhadzhian fight. People are going to understand the journey. My thing is this. They don't want to move up. They ain't trying to keep heat with nobody, bro. I'm telling you that right now. How you going to who you going to unify with? Brian Norman had already fell out. We know how PBC moving. So if anything, they will be waiting on Amon Stay Honest. If anything, and I respect him, I respect him, trying to unify belts, in an era where I don't want to seem like I'm confusing my message. We're in an era where, guys talking about, you know, um, belts don't matter and all that. But then as soon as somebody, drop a belt, they right there, being thirsty, like, they parched and looking for some water. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely understand what they saying. I definitely understand what they saying. But at the end of the day, you talk all that shit, you got to compete. You ain't going to get no fight at 54. In my opinion, you not going to get no fight at 54. We know that. At 47. You ain't going to get no unification at 47. So with him sitting there talking about he going to do something at 47, I want to unify and all that, you didn't reach out to everybody. At the end of the day, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. If you want to move up and get in the mix, and maybe he'd be like, what, at 47, it's clogged up there. Bud, Fondora, you got Timzu, Montevelli, and then you got, Jamel trying to get back into the mix. And then it's a lot of politicking. So if it's politicking at 47, it's politicking at 54. I might as well stay at 47 and just, and just not fight nobody. I hate to say it like that. And just not fight nobody. That's just what it boiled down to. That's what it is. He said, we got to deal with this guy, and then we're going to unify. When I look at the other champions, if it was Crawford and if it was Spence and all them other champions, I'm thinking they're just not going to fight him. But it's not. It's Barrios, it's Norman, it's Stay Honest, Sarah Hearn. And apparently all of them don't want to fight him, according to y'all. Boots is the biggest fighter for all those guys, and that's true. Sooner or later, one of those guys are going to realize they need to take the fight. They're the ones that's going to get paid, and I'm confident that we can make a unification in the first quarter of 2025. I'm not. Norman just got hurt. Stay on this balked at your offer. He ain't even got no fight coming up. That seemed funny. And then you got Mario Barrio. So, I don't see PBC is stubborn. They'd rather go down broke than make fights with other competitors. So I made a decision to pay up. I made a decision to double down on the card, to bring Bam, to put Ford in a really good fight, to put Khalil Cole. It's a brilliant card. Sometimes you have to wipe your mouth and go. Quote, it is what it is. Let's go on. Let's get it on. Let's get this fight won and a must try in 2025. If you ain't got it in 2024, what make you think you're going to have it in 2025 a few months later? The once we do it again and try to unify again and become undisputed, but at least once before we make a move to 54. He said, I believe when Jaron Ennis is wins in November and unifies the division, it will be very difficult for Terrence to avoid the fight unless he retires from the sport, because Boots is going to be bigger and bigger. Once he unifies, there's going to be real momentum for a fight to make it but it may take his ecstasy to put the money up to Crawford to say, okay, Crawford, according to Coach Malachi, Crawford done after next year. So y'all unifying the division with Stay Honest or Barrios or Dorman, you have to unify all the belts, just to catch Crawford. That's the problem. You have to unify all the belts in a timely manner, and that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So at the end of the day, you go have to get it out the mud like Crawford did. They're not going to want to do it. No one really wants to fight Boots. Let's be honest. It is what it is. And most of the casual public don't know who he is. So y'all got to do y'all job. Boots and his daddy got to do his job and getting them in the spotlight more. I know they love being in the gym, but you got to be a crossover appeal, Playboy. You got to find some crossover appeal. getting on TV shows, do something a little bit different. Be in a rap video, they still do those. You know what I'm saying? Go date a famous chick. You know what I'm saying? Go get with Glorilla. You ain't got to, insert this diss into the drive, but just for the image. Use these hoes for the clout like they use us for the clout. But Boots explains why he couldn't KO Karen Chukhadzhian. We gonna Harlem World. We gonna double up. Shout out to my son Henry again. Henry want to be from Harlem so bad. This is all he talk about when he text. Yeah, son. I'm from Queens, son, but Harlem, where I sold my do rags and my wave grease, son, and my beard oil, son. You see my beard, son? Harlem waves. Oh, I'm joking. I kid. He sold do rags and beard oil. He sold that in Buffalo. He said it wasn't him. It wasn't me. My mindset was, I'm going to knock him out. You can't go into a fight thinking like that. You're just going to knock somebody out, said Chukhadzhian. Said Jaron Ennis to Brian Mescu about what happened in his previous fight. He said, I went away from not having fun, and once I go back to having fun, it's going to be another knockout. In this next fight, I'm going to put on the show, not looking for it, just let me be myself. Don't look for the knockout. And you saw with me going back to having fun in my last fight, the knockout came. No, did he? Ennis said about his clash last July. He said he's not going to change his style. He might be a little bit more. He tried to box in the last fight, but it didn't win around. I feel like he's going to engage a little bit more this time, and I feel like once he gets touched, he's going to be back on his bike. He said it was up to me in the last fight, and it was things I did wrong. He's been winning ever since we fought, and he became a mandatory. So that's how it happened. And it said so. He basically said that he went in there looking for the knockout. He said he went in there looking for the knockout, and that's right. When you go out there looking to hit a home run or looking to get a knockout or something like that, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see that. And it was a big event too. I think it was a tank card. So but yeah, when you go in there looking for a knockout, usually don't come. No, did he? And he's definitely right on that, bro. He definitely right on that. I believe that to be true. I definitely believe that to be true. So I think he'll get the knockout this time. I think he'll be a little bit more patient. The advice that his father was giving him was terrible. Or maybe he just wasn't listening. One of the two. But they didn't make no adjustments in that fight. And then their excuse after the fight was he never fought like that. Remember, y'all don't watch tape. Daddy said he didn't watch tape. We just make adjustments as we go, which is the dumbest shit ever. Could you imagine like Champ Bailey or Ray Lewis saying they don't watch tape of their Peyton Manning and their opponent? No. You always watch tape. Trust and believe me, you always game planning, you always politicking. Even in the streets, a lot of you ninjas want to be street ninjas. I get it. Y'all want to be Pookie to get the booty. You don't have to though, but I get it. Even in the streets, street niggas always watching everything. They always watching their opposition. They always watching their soldiers. In basketball, you always breaking down tape. You looking at Tennessee. Shane Batty, I think he did an interview with the Knucklehead podcast, Q Rich and Darius Miles, and he was talking about how he look at the he would just guard Kobe and just go off the statistics. Where was he best at shooting, or where was his lower percentage? If I put a hand in his face and I made him shoot a mid-range, or I made him shoot a tough contested shot. Yes, everything is about watching film. It's watching. When I go out in public, I'm observing everything. Hands, who coming in the door, who leaving out the door, who around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at everything. And that's just me. That's just me. But you must watch tape. You must watch your opponent. You must watch your friends. You must watch your opponents. You playing football, MMA, all that. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Give notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, Kick, Twitch. Oh, shout out to the brother Gary Benson for donating PayPal. That link's in the link tree in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.